Good morning everyone. In the last video, we had defined Ohm's law and resistance. So let us revise the same today and we shall continue with the same chapter now, current electricity. So we had seen Ohm's law last time. I will write Ohm's law once again. So when you apply a potential difference across a conductor, there is a flow of electrons and that we call as a current. And we had seen last time that current is directly proportional to the potential difference across it. Or we can write Ohm's law in the symbolic form as V is equals to IR, where I had told you R is a constant called as resistance of the conductor. Now also I had told you the factors on which resistance depends. So we shall consider the dependence of resistance on two main factors, that is length and area of cross section. So we had seen that resistance R of any conductor is proportional to L by A. Resistance varies directly as length and inversely as the area of cross section. Or you can put a constant here, R is equals to rho L upon A. So this rho is a constant and this rho is called as resistivity of the conductor. I have written here. So this is the today's first point I am going to start with, resistivity of a conductor. The two words look almost similar, like one is resistance, another is resistivity. Two words are quite different. Resistance R and resistivity rho. Units are also different. So last time I had told you the SI unit of resistance is ohm. So we shall make use of this equation, R is equals to rho L upon A, to define this term called as resistivity. So the first point in today's lecture we are going to start with is resistivity of a conductor, the definition and its SI unit. This is very important from your exam point. Unit is often asked for 1 mark and you have an experiment in the lab where you are actually determining the resistivity of copper using a meter bridge. So let us now try to define what is resistivity using this equation, R is equals to rho L upon A. Now in this equation, L is length of the conductor, A is area of cross section, R is its resistance. Now let us put length as unit value and A also as unit. That is, if length is 1 and A is 1, unit values. Then if you put L and A as 1 each, you will have R is equals to rho. And this will define the resistivity. So what is resistivity? Resistivity is nothing but resistance of a conductor. What type of conductor? What should be the dimensions of that conductor? For that conductor, length is 1 and area of cross section is 1. That is, resistivity is the resistance of a conductor of unit length and unit area of cross section. The meaning is, suppose you have some material, say you have a copper wire, you want to find out the resistivity of that copper wire, you have to take copper wire of length 1 meter and the area of cross section of this in the SI system should be 1 meter square. So if you have a copper wire of length 1 meter and area of cross section 1 meter square, you find out its resistance and that resistance of this wire will be equal to its resistivity. So what will be the SI unit of resistivity? So in this equation, R is in ohm, L is in meter and this is meter square. So the unit of resistivity can be very easily found out like this. Ohm is equals to rho, L is meter and this is meter square. 1 meter gets cancelled. So unit of rho is nothing but ohm meter. So this is expressed as ohm meter. So try to find out the difference between unit of resistance and unit of resistivity. Unit of resistance is simply ohm, whereas unit of resistivity, SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Rho is expressed in ohm meter. So this unit is often asked for 1 mark. What is the SI unit of resistivity? So we have considered the first point today, that is what is the definition of resistivity and what is it as SI unit. I will repeat in once again. Definition goes like this. It is the resistance of a conductor of unit length and unit area of cross section, and the SI unit of which is ohm meter. So this is the first point we were supposed to do today, resistivity. So in the lab you use resistors. So these resistors are usually made up of alloys like constantan, manganese, nichrome, and these all alloys, they are having low resistivity value, about 10 raised to minus 8 to 10 raised to minus 6 ohm meter, and the resistivity also does not change much with temperature. Such materials are used to make resistors. So the factors on which resistivity depends is, it depends upon mainly two factors. It depends upon temperature and it depends upon the material of the conductor. So these are the two factors on which resistivity depends. It does not depend upon the dimensions of a conductor, because dimensions already we have taken, unit length and unit area of cross section. So it is independent of dimensions of the conductor. It depends on two factors. One is temperature, another is material of the conductor. So this is the first point, that is resistivity, the definition and its SI unit. Now we shall go to define the second point. Second point I have written as conductivity. A very simple definition of conductivity, that is, we write conductivity like this. Conductivity symbols are different. This is rho and this is sigma. Conductivity sigma is equals to 1 upon rho. So conductivity is nothing but reciprocal of resistivity. 1 upon resistivity is nothing but conductivity. Very simple definition. Unit also you have to reciprocal. This is ohm meter. So 1 upon ohm meter means it will be per ohm per meter. This is the SI unit of conductivity. So this conductivity is important because we have a relation between conductivity and current density. So that is why I have defined conductivity here. Now let us go to the next point, that is we shall define one more term, third term, that is I want to define is nothing but current density. So whenever current flows through any conductor, we define a term called as current density. So what is this current density? Let us take this same figure. Let us say this is a conductor wire, and let us say I is the current flowing through it. Now the current that is flowing per unit area is called as current density. Right? So current is flowing in the horizontal direction, the area is in the vertical direction. The meaning is the area is always perpendicular to the direction of flow of the current. So current per unit area, suppose this area of cross section is A, then we defined current densities J as I upon A. I is the current flowing through an area A, then current density J is defined as I upon A. Let us put in words. Current density is nothing but current flowing per unit area. How is the area? The area is always perpendicular to the direction of flow of current. Current is flowing horizontally, area is in the vertical direction. So there is a restriction on the orientation of the area. Area is always normal to the flow of current. So current per unit area is called as current density, because we are taking a particular orientation of the area. That is why this current density is nothing but a vector quantity. Now how to find the SI unit? SI unit is very simple. In the last lecture I had told you the unit of current. Current is expressed in amperes. Area is expressed as meter square. So naturally the SI unit of current density is going to be ampere per meter square. So this is the SI unit of current density. So this is the definition and the SI unit. I repeat once again, current density is current per unit area and the SI unit is ampere per meter square and it is a vector quantity. So now we have defined two very important terms here. One is conductivity, another is current density. Now there is a relation between current density and conductivity. So we shall find out the relation. There is a small derivation to find out the relation between sigma and J. So this relation I have written in here, sigma and J. J is equals to sigma E. This is the relation between current density and conductivity. Now we shall do a small derivation. We shall try to find out the relation between current density and conductivity. For that I have taken a very simple figure over here. So this is the figure. Say this is a conductor of uniform area of cross section A, and length of this conductor is L. Now last time I had told you, whenever you have a conductor, valence electrons are responsible for conduction, but if you don't have any battery across it, there is no flow of current. The reason for this I had also explained. That is, though the electrons are in motion, they are in random motion, there is no net flow in any particular direction. But once you apply a battery across the conductor, the valence electrons are dragged towards the positive terminal. So electrons will be moving in one particular direction, and this results in current. So whenever you want current across any conductor, this conductor should be connected to an external voltage source. So we have connected a battery to this conductor. Let us say V is the applied voltage, and because of this potential difference across the conductor, we are having an electric field E set up inside the conductor. So E is the electric field, I is the current flowing in the conductor. Now let us write a relation between I and V. Let us say resistance of this conductor is R. So we shall first use Ohm's law, which we had done last time. V is equals to IR is Ohm's law. So V is the PD, I is the current, R is the resistance of this conductor. By Ohm's law, we shall use Ohm's law first, and we shall write down a relation between V and I. So I will use Ohm's law here. By Ohm's law, V is equals to IR. Also we have a relation for R. R depends upon L and A, so we shall write that relation also. We have a relation R is equals to rho L upon A, where rho is called as nothing but resistivity. So we shall put the value of R over here. So we can write V as I into rho L upon A. Now I upon A. What is I upon A? Just now I had defined current density. So current density J is equals to I upon A. Therefore, V is equals to J rho into L. I upon A is J, current density. Therefore, V is equals to J rho L. Let us call this as equation 1. So now, this V is equals to J rho L. We can also find another expression for the potential difference. So in the second chapter, we have a relation between the electric field and this PD. You must be knowing this relation, which you have derived already. That is, E is equals to dV by dr. This is a relation between PD and the electric field. Electric field is potential difference per unit distance. So now here, V is the potential difference applied across a distance L, and E is the electric field. So let us now try to write a relation between E, L and V. So according to your second chapter equation, E is equals to dV by dr, we have another relation, that is, we have the relation V is equals to E into L, equation 2. This is my second chapter. So both are for V. J rho L is one equation, EL is one equation. Now let us try to equate both. Equating equations 1 and 2, we can write J rho L is equals to E into L. So L gets cancelled on both sides. So we have an equation J rho is equals to E, or let us take rho on the other side. So we shall write E upon rho. But 1 upon rho is conductivity. Therefore, we can write this is equals to sigma into E, since 1 upon rho is sigma. So we have a relation J equals to sigma E. Once again I will tell you, J is current density, sigma is conductivity, E is electric field. So this is the equation connecting two important physical quantities, current density and conductivity. That is what I have written as the third point, relation between current density and conductivity. J is equals to sigma E. So this is, we can also write in the vector form. J is a vector quantity. Let me put an arrow mark over it. Vector J is equals to sigma into vector E. This is in the vector form. So this is actually called as, this is a relation between, no doubt it is a relation between current density and conductivity, but it is also called as the microscopic form of Ohm's law. Sometimes it is called as equivalent form of Ohm's law. Ohm's law is V is equals to IR. This is one way of expressing Ohm's law. And the microscopic form of Ohm's law can be written as J is equals to sigma E. So this is the third point I had to cover, that is relation between current density and conductivity. So in this derivation, this is the figure required. We need two equations for V. One is using Ohm's law, we are having V is equals to J rho L, and using your second chapter we have equation V is equals to EL. Equating the two, you get the relation J is equals to sigma E. So this is also a very important relation. Sometimes this derivation is asked for 2 or 3 marks. Relation between current density and what is called as conductivity. Now let us go to a very new term, that is drift velocity. This is a very important term. Often a question is asked. This relation is important, and this drift velocity is also very important. So what is this drift velocity? So you are knowing the meaning of the word drift. Electron is drifted. Drifted means it is dragged. There is a force on it, so it is dragged in a particular direction. So actually this happens in the current conduction. So let us try to define velocity, drift velocity, using the same figure. Let us say the same figure we are having. We are having a conductor, resistance is R, length of which is L, uniform area of cross section is A. Then you want to have current through this conductor. That is why you connect a battery across it. You apply a potential difference across it. V is the potential difference across this conductor. So when you apply a potential difference across the conductor, what is the effect on the valence electrons? Let me show the valence electrons by the dots like this. This is E, E and E. These are the electrons, free valence electrons in the conductor. You know electrons are negative. So when electrons are negative, they are attracted by the positive terminal of the battery. So in which direction they are going to move? They are going to be dragged towards the positive terminal. So they move in this direction. So they are dragged towards the positive terminal of the battery. So they are drifted or they are dragged towards the positive terminal with a certain velocity, and that velocity is called as drift velocity. So why the word drift is used here? Because the electrons are attracted by the positive terminal, they are accelerated or dragged towards the positive terminals, and the dragging velocity, we call it as what? Drift velocity. Now what is the definition, exact definition of drift velocity? Very important question. What is drift velocity? Drift velocity is defined as the average velocity with which the free electrons are drifted towards the positive end of the conductor when the battery is connected to it or a potential difference is applied across it. So I repeat the definition once again. The average velocity with which the free electrons are drifted towards the positive end of the conductor when you apply an electric field, that average velocity is called as drift velocity. So whenever you connect a battery across any conductor, electrons are dragged towards it with a drift velocity Vd. They begin to move with an average velocity Vd, and that velocity we call it as the drift velocity. Now you can see the direction of this velocity and the electric field. So electric field already you know, it is directed from the positive terminal to negative terminal. Electric field is in this direction, whereas the electrons are moving in the opposite direction. So the direction of drift velocity is always opposite to that of the electric field. So this is the important point you have to note down. And you may feel that I have written just lines like that. They are easily straight, and they do not move along a straight line. Whenever you apply a battery, you may feel that electrons are moving along a straight line. They do not move along a straight line, but because there are many atoms in the conductor, when they are moving towards the positive end, they collide with different atoms in the conductor, and the path is zigzag like this. While moving towards the positive end, they encounter many collisions, and after colliding with different atoms in the path, then they are dragged towards the positive end. So this is regarding the quantity drift velocity. So we have covered some definitions today. One is resistivity, definition and SI unit, then conductivity, definition and SI unit, current density, again definition and SI unit. We have derived a very important relation between current density and conductivity. J is equals to sigma E, and we have defined a very important term, drift velocity, that is the average velocity with which the electrons move towards the positive end of the conductor. So this is all for today's lecture. Thank you.
I'm an icon, man. I'm a girl about a 10. I should fuck her in a Benz.